Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are still working on developing the Amazon, but we're getting huge piles of cash from Prussia and Great Britain at this stage. So I think we can go ahead and increase the size of our construction industry. We'll make a really bold decision here. I'm going to put 4 levels of construction sector in Sao Paulo. Let me see. Do we have an uneven number somewhere? We have to. We got an uneven number in Los Rios. So we'll increase that. We'll put 2 more levels in Baixo Paraguay. Means I'm going to do 2 more in Bahia, 2 more in Amazonas, 2 more in Lima. There's our war with the Jaisalmari Peasant Revolt. And 4 levels in Buenos Aires. I'm going to slide those up to the top. So it's going to be a huge increase in our overall construction sector. But it's going to be valuable for getting this huge 7 pages of construction projects that we've got done. Okay, so Sokoto backs down to Spain, only losing Hausaland, but keeping Outer Hausaland and East Hausaland. And that means they're probably going to hold against Prussia and us for the time being. Injured farmers. Farmers in Santiago have been making appeals to the government about the dangers of the equipment they're using and would like to have some sort of health care to reduce the hardship for them. Neighbor came over to my house the other day. As I stood... Enemy in default, okay. As he stood there at my door grabbing his right arm with his left, I realized he'd cut 3 fingers clean off. I was no doctor, but he needed help, so I did the best I could. Just wish there was someone he could have gone to that knew better. Try to offer help, 10%. Focus on establishing healthcare, extra mortality for laborers, farmers, for agricultural laborers, agricultural farmers, and ranching laborers in Santiago, or this isn't for the poor anyways. Huge increase to mortality. I'm going to go with... I'm really not worried about this. I'm going to go with the first one. I don't want to increase mortality in this time. At a time like this, I don't wish to increase mortality. So now we're getting huge cash. So I'm feeling extremely confident, and that's part of why I'm building up all these extra construction sectors. Hey, there's sea lane strategies researched. Wonderful. So that means we can enable that for our naval bases. Let's see. And for tech, we're almost at electric railways. So that's going to cost us a bunch more electricity. And we've got landing craft spreading. That's also very good. So we can knock out feminism and pan-nationalism. And then we'll start doing more naval techs. And that'll be just fine. France is going after Egypt. France, you're getting notorious. The notorious FRS. Stop it. Dial it back. Again, we've got a bunch of electricity shortages, which I don't love. But we're doing our best. I wonder if... Actually, let's finish out electric railways and then go directly to steam turbine, and then we'll queue in the rest of this stuff. Because I think steam turbine is really going to help because we've got a lot of coal in our market. And once we've got coal in our market... sorry, not coal in our market, we've got that. Once we've got our power plants on coal burning power, we're going to be doing a lot better. Speaking of which, how is coal looking in our market right now? It's right about balanced. Could use a little bit more development, but that's okay. Alright, so electric trains means we should be able to get our... at least some of our motor industries over to electric engines, which is going to be good. So let's see. I'm going to focus electricity development on some areas. So, La Paz, Miranhao, air combustion engine, nice. Sao Paulo, and Rio de Janeiro are all going to get a few more levels of power plants. So, Rio de Janeiro, Miranhao, La Paz. Brain bad, friends. La Paz, Miranhao, Sao Paulo. Gonna get a few more levels of power plants, and we're going to queue those up to the top. All right, popular playwright endorses reform. Excellent. In the midst of the debate surrounding private health insurance, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the Industrialists, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. The man's viewpoints may be somewhat partisan, but sir, you cannot argue with his prose. Private health care will be on everyone's lips, another 10% enactment chance, sure puts the industrialists in a good light, 10% stronger industrialists, or let's ensure the play gets a wider international audience, 20 prestige. I'm going to go with the prestige, because I've fallen to rank 4, and that's not okay. Alright, we're back in 3. Curse you, United States. Just trying to build up my power infrastructure. Spain's fighting a war against the rebels in the Philippines. They've got French support, though, so I'm not worried. Netherlands is in a war against an aristocratic revolt in the East Indies. What'd you give me for this? An obligation? Don't care. If you would give me Guyana, we would Dutch Guyana. That would make me happy, but you're not doing that, so no dice. So I think somewhere in here we're going to go for a naval increase. And that's going to be more ironclads in the Armada Nacional. Oh, we actually have scout cruisers available, and those are something that we're desperately needing. So, actually, I'm going to cut 21 levels of monitors, and I'm going to queue in a bunch of scout cruisers here. So, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. You know, ultimately, we're going to have like 60 levels of these or something. Alright. That should be enough for now. Industrialist petition government. Alright, what do you want? Representing his constituents, the Industrialists, Hermes Fragoso has issued a formal petition to the Brazilian government to pass presidential republic. One last matter for the day, sir. Members of your constituency arrived this morning. They're asking rather loudly and insistently if you would meet with them about new legislation. Is that it? Goodness, you've seen as if you've seen a ghost. I'm sure I can spare the last hour's delight for them, can't I? I believe so, sir. They weren't taking no for an answer. So, we'll see what we can do. Activates that. Offer them no migration controls as a compromise, or they must understand the present situation doesn't allow for this. I don't necessarily want no migration controls, so we'll see what we can do, and we'll see if we can have ourselves a presidential republic. We've lived long and prosperously under the Brazilian imperial monarchy, but we don't have to have that. I actually don't need all these government admins, so I'm going to queue them down. And we're going to put those naval bases up top. I've decided. And basically I'm going to cancel the rest of the... Oh no, I do need those government admin, because these ones are providing taxation capacity. Alright. So that'll be fine. I will build those. Alright, so the Armada Nacional is getting an extra 40 levels of scout cruisers, And then once that's done, we'll close out all the monitors. Well, not all the monitors. We'll build a few more monitors, and then we'll build... Hey, we're in drafting. Wonderful. Mario de Boroperohan has died. And then after that, we'll build up some more ironclads, or maybe by then we'll have... do we have the dreadnought method already? I think we actually do. No, it's the end of Tier 4. Well, maybe by then we'll have that. Raising concerns. The armed forces have expressed their concerns about the government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the industrialists. I've read this flavor text a million times. The armed forces are very happy. The industrialists are very happy. I'm going to weaken the armed forces. That weakens the conservatives, and that's fine with me. They're headed up by a Democrat, which is completely fine. I don't think anyone... Only the petit bourgeois are going to be salty that we go to presidential republic. Let's take a look at what that will do. Everyone wants it. It'll reduce legitimacy by 5. Hey! Sokoto agreed to be a protectorate. That's wild. Nicely done. And the landowners will be salty, but I don't care about them. They're jerks. Yeah, you stay suppressed. Ooh, excellent. Treasury bonds. Hey, Austria, you want to give us huge cash in exchange for help against this tiny peasant revolt? Be very funny. Alright, so once these are built, we'll go ahead and... Actually, we'll be able to do this as soon as these ones are ready to go. And then the ones in Mir and Hal will just have to sort themselves out. We're going to switch over to a higher... Ooh, Swedish immigration. A higher production method for trains that's going to make our motor industries a lot more profitable. We could also probably build cars. I think we've got plenty of oil in the customs union. So maybe we'll go to building cars, and that'll be nice. So once this week turns over... Actually, we can do it now. Electric engines, and electric engines. I know these say they're not profitable, but that's just because we're still working out the power situation. So those are La Paz, Miranhao, Rio de Janeiro, and Sao Paulo. So let's look at the price of power in those areas. Very expensive, very expensive, very expensive, and very expensive. Alright, that's curious. We got another little by little event. I'm just going to say we shall make Brazilians a vignette, same as I always do. So, you're just not employing, but why aren't you employing? Okay, alright. They're working on it. Power plants are getting employed. So that should be reducing the price of motors, of engines in our... Where's engines? Here we go. Okay, it's getting there. We're getting there. Alright, that's good. We're actually exporting tons and tons of engines. That's wild. And Brazilian wine is exporting really well. Wow, we have a lot of shortages in our customs union. I didn't even realize. Gosh. Nowhere else we can export luxury clothes to. Exploiting the Amazon is still going because we've taken forever to build up all the stuff we've been trying to build, but you know how it goes. Naval bases are nearly completed, and these government admins are still being built up, which should help with our finances just a little bit. Then we got more levels of power plants, and then we start our big Amazonian industrial expansion, and that'll be nice. Then we can get a bunch of events, and we can see what's looking like in those areas. So, in the meantime, do we want to get up to any foreign adventures? We're finally not in a war anymore. Honduras, you want to be a dominion? Yes, they do. Wonderful. El Salvador is a Prussian protectorate. Prussia might accept. Wait, hold on. Oh no, they're a protectorate of Romania, not. I was saying Prussia, but I should have been saying Russia. I just misread the color. Interesting. Because they're kind of close to Russia. Okay, so you're in a defensive pact with Russia and Austria. I do not want to fight all three of them, which I think I would need to do if I did that. So I'm going to not worry about it. Guatemala is in a defensive pact with Mexico and El Salvador. And Los Altos is its own thing. So if I conquer Guatemala, 18.9 infamy. Mexico is extremely likely to side with them, but no one else is likely to get involved. And Guatemala is mostly Maya people. Or Mesoamerican. Okay, so they're Mesoamerican and indigenous American heritage. They're not going to be accepted. So I actually don't want to conquer Guatemala. What about Los Altos? Same thing. What about San Salvador? Okay, San Salvador is good. Okay, so Guatemala I want to turn into a protectorate. They will not accept. Honduras and Florida will side with me. Let's get started. Wonderful. Guatemala has no army to speak of. Mexico has probably no army to speak of. Let's take a look at their military production methods. I am going to mobilize this first Brazilian Reserve Army and place them on the front here. And I'm going to take a look at what Mexico is rocking for its military production methods in its capital, and we'll go from there. Where is their capital now? Veracruz. Alright, so they got a lot of skirmish infantry, shrapnel artillery, and lancers. I'm not super scared of that. This army is got trench infantry and siege artillery. We'll put the 4th Brazilian Army on it as well. Just to make sure that there are no hiccups here. And then we'll be good to go. Not worried about anything else going on. We'll activate the 2nd Brazilian Reserve Army, but we won't... Nah, I don't need to do that. Mexico has Guatemala. Not shocking that they did that. I am going to mobilize the 2nd Brazilian Reserve Army. And they'll just stay in Brazil in case Mexico decides to try out some kind of cheeky naval invasion situation. And then we'll be good to go. I don't think they will because they'll be trying to block up this front if they're sensible, which I assume they will be. But, you know, it's always good to have some defensive forces. Come on, 62%. Capitals revolt in Oldenburg. I don't care about this. Neutral. This is Sintang versus Communist Sintang. Couldn't care less, to be honest. What a bunch of communists are doing in Southeast Asia is of no concern to Brazil. I'm going to be completely real with you. Part of the reason I accepted the Industrialists' petition for this is just so that you can see we can get ourselves a little bit of a star-swarmed flag as Brazil, because I think that'd be great fun. Force comparison here is 70, and we're in voting. So hopefully we can continue with this and make this happen. Great Britain's taken on Tripolitania's national debt. Neat. Los Altos is neutral. Nobody has stepped in here, so we're pretty much going to win the war. I'm going to declare the strategic objective is to be Guatemala, and we'll move forward into Mexico once the time comes, and probably take over their capital just to get them out of the war, and that'll be just fine. Okay, so we still have some electricity shortages in Cajamarca, Bolivar, Sao Paulo, Santiago, and Arequipa. So Santiago. Oh, I'm showing my weakness in geography here. Alright, I need to... Santiago. Alright, show me where you are. Over here. Oh, the capital, the former capital of Chile. Oh, you don't have full market access. That's right. I keep noticing that for a second and then not doing anything about it. We'll put that up to the top. Whoop. Did I do that? Alright. So we'll get that going, for one thing. But the power issue is another... Okay, the power plants are not hiring. Subsidize? If I subsidize these power plants, is that going to help at all? No, it's not. I'll wait one more week. And if it continues to go this way, we'll just let it be. Radicals are slowly going up, which is concerning me. We'll desubsidize that, since that's not helping. I don't really know what to do about that. We do have... Okay, let me just double check and make sure that at this point we've got power plants everywhere in the country, right? Yes, we do. So I could at least theoretically go to... full electrified street lighting and see what that does to the power situation. But I don't want to be building up too much more power infrastructure while I'm in the middle of trying to increase my level of... I'm still building all of these, and then after that, I want to be getting this Amazonian development thing under... Really knock that out. So I'm hoping I can get that going. Siamese uprising against France. And we'll see what happens. I assume that a bunch of people are going to potentially support the Siamese uprising, but it looks like not a lot are going to, despite the fact that France is hugely infamous. By the way, we have hit position 2 in prestige. France is down in prestige for some reason. Did they... From Intelligentsia criticizing the country. Interesting. So the French Intelligentsia are salty. I wonder why. I can't tell from laws and law changes. We'll leave it be for now anyway. Come on, complete private health insurance. Not quite. Grassroots support. The political wills and desires of the lower classes will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for private health insurance has spread like wildfire across Brazil, spurred on by charismatic speakers and lively debates in small-time social clubs. They're backing what now? Who are we to complain? While their support was never a prerequisite for success, it sure doesn't hurt to have it either. Public enthusiasm expedites reform, uses common ground to calm the masses. I'm going to say public enthusiasm expedites reform, because I want to get this knocked out so that we can pass our government petition for the industrialists and become a republic. Inefficient agriculture, we've seen this event a million times. I'm going to say they serve our purposes. It's going to make the industrialists a little mad, but only a little. They're at -1. They're 18. I don't care about that. They're going to be completely fine. All right, we've nearly taken over all of Guatemala. We're fighting back the Mexican army with relative ease, it seems like. So I think I'm completely happy with this. They do have war support protection because they're not fully... Their capital state, Guatemala, is not fully occupied, but that doesn't really cause a problem for me in any meaningful way. We're nearly... Okay, so yes, so we finished incorporating a bunch of more territory in southern South America, and now our target population for populating the Americas is higher, but we're continuing to grow in population from all this immigration that we're having, and We are going to be continuing to increase in population due to the amount of mortality that is going to not be here once we get a healthcare system rocking. Once we're rocking a healthcare system, we got moderate levels of bureaucracy. I'm tempted to reduce Social Security, but I think we've got enough capacity, or the ability to have enough capacity, to get high-level healthcare without having a problem, at least within a medium time frame, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. We have reached our gold reserve limit, which is almost 40,000. We've reached a gold reserve of almost 40 million. 40 million, I should say, not 40,000. I am not a tiny country. And there's the Guatemalan protectorate established. And Mexico has decided to bail out of the war because they don't care anymore, which is fine. Perfect. All right, we do have an Explaining the Amazon event we can pop off. An outpost of progress, nestled within the rainforests of Mato Grosso, the erstwhile sleepy village of Campo Grande has grown into a major hub of rubber extraction and transportation. To sleep now, the sun is going down. You and your father will need the strength to hunt tomorrow. But I am Senor Ramirez, and I am still ordering his do not speak that name, boy. Never again. Do not bring those men to us, whoever is left. And the rubber barons require more labor, stronger landowners, or their business acumen will see Campo thrive. I can get migration traction or rubber plantations throughput. I'm going to get migration traction because we're populating the Americas. Diplomatic play in Senegal. Netherlands is going up against a military revolt. Will you give me frickin' Guyana, please? I want Guyana real bad. We'll see which gets there first, the diplomatic play or private healthcare. Game's running a little slow, actually. I think my computer's kind of chugging along here. But that's okay. It's going to be right about at the same time. Hey, there it goes. Wonderful. States, give me Guyana. Yes! Offered to transfer me Gelra. That's wild. Alright, perfect. So, I'm going to mobilize the first Brazilian Reserve Army. And I can't place them on the front. Why? Does this area not have a port? It does. Alright, Senegalese military revolt has 6 battalions. I'm not super worried about that. Armada Nacional is actually over its limit right now. I'm going to reduce the number of monitors in here. Well, that's a shame. We'll need to naval invade. So, we'll put them over here. I think that's the node that they're on, and then once the time comes, we'll naval invade. So this will be nice. We've finally gotten access to our we're finally going to get Guyana, which I'm very, very pleased about. Because I've been hoping to get Guyana for a long time. Chiang Mayan peasant revolt in Siam. Siam's already at war with France, I think, so... Yeah. Hey, there's pan-nationalism. And that gives us a boatload more authority, actually. That's pretty cool. Oh, cripes, I forgot to start moving to a republic. Let's do it. And feminism is spreading. Excellent. That's going to make future research faster because we're already kind of working on that as a thing we need to do. Another Temples of Humanity event. This time in Ecuador. I'm going to say they will not spread disorder to Ecuador. Again, I don't need the positivist thing trying to pop off here. And there's a revolt happening in Greece. A fascist revolt. That's interesting. Presidential Republic, we're at 48% success chance. I'm not at all worried about that. I'm going to go ahead and declare neutrality in this play in Indochina. I don't really care about that. And this one in Greece. So, Senegalese military revolts. We are going to launch a naval invasion using our only mobilized army. It's going to start in 4 weeks, and we've got oil in Minas Gerais. I'm going to encourage this trend because oil is the future. Alright, we'll see if we can land there. Now that I've got a little bit of extra authority, we're going to put consumption taxes on wine and coffee. No, wine and fine art. I don't know if that's the right call, but I think it is. Prussia is once again going... Oh, no, they're going after a military revolt in Sokoto. Oh, that's very funny. I don't know why you think this is going to work, Prussia, but it is what it is. Alright, we are switching over to a presidential republic. We got Brazilian Guyana. I'm going to start incorporating them immediately. I'm also going to start increasing my healthcare institution, at least up to level 2. And we'll see how things go from there. But that's all we've got time for today. Friends, I've had a good time. I hope you've had a good time as well. And I will see you all on the other side.